Hi, I'm Kim and welcome to my channel, Quilt with Kim. You are very, very welcome here. Now, what happens if you've got a piece of fabric, you know that you've got to cut yourself a straight edge to start your cutting for all your patchwork, but your edges are perhaps just a little bit wibbly wobbly and you've lost the selvage and you don't really know where to cut to get your first straight line. There is a rule in patchwork that says whenever you come to a new piece of fabric or whenever you come to a piece of fabric to cut your first piece of patchwork, you need to give yourself a straight edge. And that's even if you've been cutting it before and it's got a straight edge. When you leave fabric alone, it seems to go all wibbly wobbly, it parties, it meets up with its friends, it gets all a bit loose-limbed around the edges. Have you discovered that? So we need to get back to finding ourselves a nice clean straight edge. So this is how we are going to do it. I'm going to switch camera to show you. So here's a piece of fabric then that we have no selvages on. It's obviously been cut and used, but the edges are just a bit scraggly. They've frayed a little bit, so we can't really get any straight edge. Now, what I don't want you to do is get your ruler and go, of course I can get a straight edge. I can line my ruler up here and then all will be marvellous. I will get the straight edge off the top of there. You don't necessarily know whether that is going to be a true right angle because you don't know whether this cut along here is particularly straight to run your ruler off to get a proper right angle. So here's the way round doing it. Let's put the ruler to one side. What we are going to do is find the warp thread. Now, if you don't know the difference between your warp and your weft and your bias, don't worry, I've got you covered. So watch the video that I'm going to pop up at the end of this one and you can learn all about that to your heart's content. But the warp thread is the one that has no stretch or no give in it. Okay, so if I pull here, I will find that I've got no give. If I pull the other side, this will be my weft thread, I've got a little bit of give in it. So what I'm going to do is fold my fabric in half, and it doesn't matter how big or small, this works. I'm going to fold it in half along that warp thread. And the reason why I'm choosing the warp thread is because it doesn't stretch, it doesn't give, it doesn't move. It's a nice straight edge. So I want to pull it along that warp thread. So if I fold it and then give my fabric a little tug at both ends, that'll help my fabric sit on that grain line. A bit of smoothing, a bit of stroking. Look, let's be honest, we all like a bit of stroking, don't we? Yeah, you and me both, but let's not tell anybody else. So we need a nice crisp fold along the, I was completely put off then. We need a nice crisp line across the warp thread, this grain line across here. So if you fold it, you give it a little tug, you're stroking it, it will find its way to that warp thread because that's where your fabric wants to go. Can you see at the bottom here how wibbly wobbly all this is? We can't match the edges aren't met. It's all frayed, and this is just what happens to fabric. So it's not you doing anything incorrectly, it's not the fabric at fault, it's just what happens. It's a woven fabric, so it is going to do that. But we want to get along that warp thread there. Once we've done that, then we can get our ruler. I picked up a pen then and not my rotary cutter. That's not going to work, is it? We pick up our ruler and we get one of our horizontal lines along that fold line. And I appreciate you maybe can't see quite as clearly down the camera, but I have got a horizontal line of my ruler along that fold at the top there. And once that's in place, and even then, sorry, can you see here it's not matched up? Don't worry about that. Just kill, whoops, that bit off. That didn't come off very properly, did it? There we go. So now we have got a straight edge here. Now we've got something that we can start cutting from, or we can start measuring from, because if we've got a straight edge there, we can use that to start cutting from. Okay, so there's my cut edge here, and I can start measuring from that point. knowing that that is going to be a straight line and all my other measurements will be nice and accurate. So I hope that helps. That's a very easy way to find yourself your straight edge to cut from so that you don't have any wibble wobbles in your fabric. Hope that's helped. I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.